Hey everyone, welcome to Mountain Beast Mysteries. Today, I just wanted to talk to everyone about a new Kickstarter project that I just launched yesterday evening. This Kickstarter project is to conduct the expedition that I've mentioned, I think, a few times on the channel. If not on the main channel here, then I mentioned it on the Patreon page. But back about a year ago, I was tipped off from a pretty reliable source of a location where, apparently there's a cave full of bones, animal bones, who knows what other kind of bones, where these creatures reside in the winter months. And I've always imagined going out to this location and exploring the area looking for this cave. It's always been in the back of my mind for the past year, and I think it's about time that we brought this thing to life and made it happen. It's a pretty remote area. It's this beautiful mountain valley, at least from what I can see here. If you look here, I have the Google Earth view. A beautiful valley tucked away just in the Canadian Rockies, just beyond the foothills. And it almost, as you can see here, there's a lot of rock. It's almost like moonscape, like we're on the moon. A little bit of shrubbery here you can see. But the plan essentially is to take a helicopter into this area. The reason I want to take a helicopter instead of hiking in is that there's going to be a lot of equipment required, to make it on this trip. I want to be out here for 3 weeks. That's the plan, a 3-week expedition to find this cave, for one, that's one of the objectives, and two, to actually, have an encounter and potentially film these creatures, if they are here. I've been told they're in this, pretty much exact area. If I'm going to see one of these things in my lifetime, this is where it's going to be. It's going to be in this valley. Now, as you can see, the area is relatively flat. The topography here, these mountain slopes, some of them look quite gentle. Now, that's hard to say, looking at it on Google Earth here. It could be completely treacherous in real life, but what I want to do is get up on these mountain ridges, walk along, pretty much all of them, and try and spot any sort of cave entrances. And while I'm doing that, obviously keeping my eye out for any of these creatures. The nearest road to this spot is about 16 kilometers away. So it's quite a trek. I want to fly in so I don't have to, for one, carry all the gear. And, if I did trek in with a huge pack, I would be pretty bagged by the time I got to the location. So to me, it just makes sense to charter a helicopter, have all my gear inside of it, and set up a base camp once I get there. And what I'm also thinking of doing, I don't know how viable this is going to be, but if I can find a little spot where I can maybe keep like an equipment stash, I'm thinking about doing that. So I can have maybe a large storage bin containing like a tent, my cooking supplies, larger pieces of equipment like that for the next time I want to come out, because it's not really, financially viable to fly out to the spot every time. I'm thinking if I want to come back a second time, if I end up leaving like trail cameras out, or if I just want to keep exploring the area, it would make sense to have a stash somewhere out here with, the larger equipment items, such as like the tent and things of that nature, so I don't have to hike them in. 'Cause 16 kilometers is pretty rough, and I have no idea, what the terrain is like if I was to hike in. It looks like there is, a rather wide riverbed that you could probably walk along and take almost the whole way there. But I'm not going to really say exactly where this location is. I'm sure if some of you are familiar with the Nordegg area and the Bigfoot locations out there, you could probably, go on Google Earth and match this up. I'm not too nervous about people actually going there and finding it. It's way out there, it's hard to get to, and it's probably still covered in snow at this time of year. So this Kickstarter project, this expedition, this 3-week expedition is going to be probably happening, if it gets funded, around June or July. So that's what I'm thinking, kind of in the middle of summer, when the weather is beautiful and the bugs are terrible. So the plan is to essentially do this 3-week expedition here in this valley, look for whatever evidence we can find, try and find the cave, try and find the creatures, and at the same time filming everything, and once I get back to civilization, editing it all into a 3-part documentary series for YouTube, so everyone will be able to enjoy that, and it will be epic. If we get more funding than what the goal is set for, if we're overfunded, then that's going to go back into making more episodes. So instead of being like a 3-part series, it could be a 4 or 5-part series, just depending on how much funding we can get. But you can see here, looks like there's a little body of water up on this mountain. Could be really, really beautiful. Yeah, the whole area just looks crazy. Look at all this rock. It would look like the moon. I'm just imagining standing in the middle of this area. It would be like I was on the moon. Make for some really, really good footage. But it looks generally like gentle. Like it looks like it wouldn't be too difficult to trek up this way and to get to one of these peaks. Yeah, if you look here, once you go down the valley, you get a lot more vegetation, more trees. It'd be worth, exploring this whole area, looking for tree structures. And you can go so far, like you can go all the way down here into this valley. Who knows, there could be caves all over the place. So, it's really hard to find a purely undiscovered or untouched area, that has never contained humans at some point. Like, humans have been everywhere doing surveys and geological work and things like that. So, once you go beyond this ridge here, it kind of slopes back down. And I was kind of trying to plan a route from one direction if I was to hike in and, come up this slope and over the edge. But yeah, I would like to check this spot out as well, trek down here, look for tree structures, look for anything. I can't imagine what this place looks like in person. Like, I look at this topography and I'm looking at it on Google and it blows my mind just on here. So it would be a pretty epic expedition, It would be awesome to get some real evidence, to get some video footage, but even just coming out here and exploring the location, seeing the wildlife, it would be insane. But this is where it's going to happen. If they're real, if they're in this area, this is apparently the spot. I definitely think it's worth, a 3-week expedition. Utilizing thermal vision, thermal drones, whatever I can get my hands on. All depends if we get funded, though. If you guys haven't seen the Kickstarter page yet, I did make a post about it on the Mountain Beast Mysteries Facebook page, also on Instagram. But I have a link right down below in the description. Check that out. There's a couple videos on that page, and I kind of go over everything. I go over the rewards, the highest tier rewards for those of you who have money to burn. I'm including actual multi-day Sasquatch expeditions out here in Alberta with myself, and that's all included in the donation price. So if there's any of you people who really want to fund Sasquatch research and expeditions and really want the answers, that's the way to go. But check out all the other rewards. There's lots of cool stuff. I try to include lots of Mountain Beast Mysteries swag. And yeah, hopefully we can get this thing going. I hope you guys are excited to help make this happen. I think it's going to be great, and I think it's going to be probably the most exciting Sasquatch expedition to happen this summer. I'm kind of getting tired of venturing out to the same Nordic tree structure site. I need to find something new. This is the place. This is epic. You can see here, this is the exact kind of area where I'm thinking of setting up the camp. It looks like there's a small body of water, like a small pool of water there, which probably would be, the most ideal location. And it just looks beautiful. But anyways, thanks for taking the time to let me explain this Kickstarter project. I hope you guys are interested in helping fund it, helping make it happen. The link for the Kickstarter page is down below in the description. Check that out. I got a couple more videos coming for you guys before the week is over. Thanks for watching this episode of Mountain Beast Mysteries. We'll see you next time.